After working with people for 35 years and digging around in my own life, I've come to this conclusion that in most circumstances, it is not difficult to figure out what the right course of action is. Most of the time, the right thing we ought to do is obvious. Now, we sometimes don't do it simply because we don't want to do the right thing, or because the right thing seems to be very difficult or very costly to us in some way. But the right thing is obvious. Therefore, it's not that we need better teaching. We already know. And in reality, it's not that we need to talk about willpower or trying harder, because if we could, we probably already would be doing better and trying harder. What we need is something else. What we need is something else to help us make the connection from what we know is the right thing to actually doing it, regardless of how difficult it might be, regardless of what it might cost us. Because here's the thing, the right thing is always right. The question isn't, do you know what's right, but do you have what it takes to do what is right? This week, I'm going to give you something that I think will help in that process. I came across a story in the Old Testament, a story that I don't remember, a story that I don't know that you've ever heard. But in this story, a king of God's people does the right thing even though it is incredibly hard. And when he does it, he is told something that makes him want to keep doing the right thing. A little phrase that tells us something about God, something about how he sees us, something about what happens when we keep the right priorities. I have a phrase, I have a thought that will help you get things in order, that will help you not only understand what is right, but actually get your life lined up so that you're doing the right things. The sermon is called First Things First, One Truth to Help Us Keep Our Priorities Straight. Again, this is a story that I don't really remember, but it's a story we should have been teaching. It is a story that should be really famous because it is really, really helpful. Bring a friend. I think it would help them too. If you're coming for Bible study at 10 o'clock, if your kids are in Sunday school, we're in Acts chapter 8. In Acts chapter 8, the church is being persecuted. They have been staying in Jerusalem, and now they're getting kicked out of Jerusalem, and they're going all over the world, and they're teaching the Word of God. And in doing so, we will learn some things about how to teach others, and we will learn some things about how the Word of God spread then and still does now. Lots of things to talk about. Start reading in Acts chapter 8, and you'll have an advantage when you come to class because you'll know what we're talking about. It'll be really good. I'm really excited about this Sunday. It surprises me sometimes when I find a story I didn't know, because I know a lot of the famous ones. This one is something obscure, but it shouldn't be obscure. It's going to be really helpful. I think you're going to like it. We'll see you Sunday.